The next one that we're moving on to is what we call a Dukkah dusted lamb rump. So again, I don't know what you're doing at the moment. What are you doing with lamb rumps at the moment in stores?
We do have many roasts.
Not a lot? So what are you doing with your, what is it, just leaf chops then? Steak? Yeah. So nobody's doing like some roast for one, roast for two?
Did one out of the top side today.
You did a top side?
Yeah, top side with baby spinach, sun-dried tomato and feta with that sun-dried tomato and basil glaze and a bit of water with it and put it on top.
Yeah. So this is similar, exactly the similar, but what we've chosen just for the demo is a Dukkah. Not saying that you have to use a Dukkah, you can buy it. It's basically, you can buy different flavours of it. It's sort of a nutty crust that you can put on the outside. But again, you might have something that you actually want to make yourself. You just get your white panko crumb or something like that, put a glaze through it, whatever pesto through it, and make it. But this one's nice and simple. We dust it on the outside. We've taken the cap off. Your customers might find that you can leave the cap on. It just depends. But what we've done here, Michael's just actually cutting one into steak, so you'll see it there. Then the whole one. Again, it's just another wee idea just to give your customer some variety. I don't know how many, like, you guys get, how many of your customers come in into the store and say, I don't know what I want for tea? A lot, eh? There is a lot. Like, you can sit there and not put up your hand, but I know for a fact there's a lot. Because when I come around and talking to you, you're telling me there's a lot. So this is actually just helping you sell more meat by basically giving them more meal ideas. And like, so this one here, what we sort of thought at this time of year is, you know, like, so you guys knowing your customers as well, this might be something that suits your professional couples. So, you know, and you'll know the age bracket that you're sort of sitting at. They could be 25 to 35, that this is a big thing for them, and it's a real big thing for, like, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So those are the days that you would have them in your cabinet. But the more we actually do them, and you start talking to a few butchers that are actually doing them, they're finding, like, so people are actually eating quite healthy, so they're taking the cap off and sort of a wee bit of olive oil, trellis the top just to sort of help with that cooking. And then what they're doing is they're actually roasting these off, even just on the barbecue, and then they're resting them for a little bit longer than what you'd normally rest a steak. They're slicing them quite thinly and tossing them through a salad. So again, if you've got somebody that comes into your shop on a Friday night or Saturday night, that's what they're sort of looking for. You could suggest something like this to them. So, you know, you sort of got to use the imagination. You've got to ask the right questions.
In my shop, we had a problem selling legs of lamb because they were getting a little bit expensive. So with the whole leg throw going about $38. So what we did, we took all the rumps off, we took all the shanks off, we scored our legs of lamb, olive oiled them, put sea salt, parsley, thyme and rosemary. And all these legs are already going now. So now we've got the rumps. So we're marinating all the rumps for the midweek roast between Tuesdays and Thursdays. So as soon as we get young couples into the shop, this is only 15 minutes away. Now they rock in between 5 and 6:30. They don't have time for an hour and a half roast. This is a good one for if you see young couples in your shop all the time, or working people that have got less time to cook. And now we're selling heaps of legs of lamb because we've seasoned the legs with olive oil, we've got the sea salt on it. It's all ready to go for people. So, you know, if you've got problems with your legs of lamb or your rumps, you've got to work out a better way because they will sell. It just means your customers have changed their habits. And every shop, every 5 years, your customers will change their habits. They'll either have kids or get married or they'll have more kids. So they're going to change their buying habits. So you have to change with them. So I can't sell any more whole legs of lamb. I've got to take the shank and rump off. But, you know, if you see young couples between Tuesdays and Thursdays, these are the roasts I'll be talking about. Very nice in salads, Greek salads. And you've got to remember, the public consumers, we're eating less meat, whether everyone likes it or not. So you've got to create what they want. You know, everyone wants less fat, so take the fat off the rump and sell them as a little roast. I sell these as couples roast because they're just good for a couple. So, you know, you've got to work why your customers aren't getting the rumps or your big legs of lamb and work backwards on it.
How many are you selling full legs of lamb now? Still sell lots? Or do you sell lots when they're on special? Special. So, which means GP drops, doesn't it? And that's how specials work. So something like this, like what you guys have obviously done, you're sub-prodding your legs, you're actually probably getting better money than what you would if you were selling normal price by.
You still have no problem with drumsticks, you know, some reason they're buying them some.
Yeah, well, it's
no
still
problem.
trendy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
there's still no problem moving those as well. So
Yeah.
we do something similar with the knuckles though.
Yeah.
Take all the knuckles out and then sub-pommel that and then use the top here and knuckles through that.
But there's just so many ways you can do things that, like food's infinity. The thing is, you got to work out in your cabinet. If it's not moving, you got to change it. It's pull out the real estate in your cabinet. If it's not working, push it on and do some added value stuff and try to do some
There's no
different
point
stuff.
continuously running specials, is there?
Well, that's right, mate, because
Yeah,
you're not making
you
money
make
on
money.
specials. So you got to think outside the square, because everyone's a master chef these days. Like, everyone watches these shows.
You got to work backwards. You know, work out is in the right place. The cabinet.
Yep.
Is that place a cold spot?
Yep.
You know, like in my servos, I have my steaks and mince in the worst place.
Yep. Because it's a
So
staple meal.
Anything that I do brand new is under the EPOS machine or scales. You know, you can always sell whole root fillets and rumps. I put them in the bottom corners. They're the worst places. And then I work my cabinets in. So everything's, all the new stuff and all the new lines were right in the middle, smack in the middle. The first two shelves, or in my servo, were right in the middle. And, you know, anything new like this, I always do demos. Because you can't expect someone to pay 26, 27 bucks for it straight up. You know, you just can't expect it. So, you know your favourite customers, they come Saturdays or Thursdays or Fridays. It doesn't take much to do a demo because after a while, you will get that customer to come back. And they'll say, oh, I got that last week, would you do it for me? You know, it doesn't take long before you get a customer relationship. But, you know, I was telling the last few demos, I was unsure how to do demos at my shop. So what I did was I got professionals in for 2 weeks of the month for 3 months. So they came in 6 times, and they're not cheap, but what I did was I learned how they did the demo. I just watched them how they did it, and after 3 months, I didn't get them in, I did the demo. So if you're unsure how to do a demo, get a professionals in and just watch how they do it. You don't have to keep them forever.
So yeah, there is plenty of things, and we're all here for the same sort of reason, just to have a look at what's out there. So do think outside the square a little bit. You're only limited by your imagination, and like, we don't want a special meat. We'd rather see the price of meat come up, and people still buying the same volume. You know, it's one of those things at the end of the day, isn't it? We all want to be paid more and make more, and the only way to do that is increase our margins and sales. So yeah, and it also, like, you know, it puts something like this, you know, if you put your name on it, it could be your signature for your store for a wee while, that people keep coming back to you. It's what brings the people. And one of the things that we, you know, like, so we're discussing with the guys up in the North Island and last week, and they were saying, you know, it's quite hard in a retail butcher shop because we only see these people at Christmas time. They come in and buy their ham and their nice cuts of meat, and so we're sort of saying, well, now's the perfect time to introduce things like this and actually get your shop looking 100% and get it so you've got all this new stuff, nice and clean, nice good signs, like so what Kim had there. And so when they do come in and they see it, they go, wow, and you actually see them for 52 weeks of the year instead of 2 weeks of the year. So that's just another wee thing to think about when you go back to work as well. People will start shopping around. If you've got an award-winning ham or sausage or something and they're coming to collect it, try and sell them something else. And these wee things here, they might not have seen them before, so it makes it, you sort of bring them into your shop and talk them into buying some stuff. And one thing also to think about, it's quite funny because when I did this demo the first time, the guys were sort of saying to me, oh, I need 2 of those. But it's not about, sometimes it's not about us. What we eat is not what our customers eat. So we're catering for them, not ourselves. So that's the thing, like, that would feed 2 people.